guys, welcome back to another Simone ASMR video. I am currently watching Married to Medicine, and I was wondering if you guys are watching it too. If you guys, okay, so I'm just gonna give a little bit of backstory of what I know about the show. I don't really follow it. I don't even really know the names of the characters that well, but I will say I'm gonna talk about the ones that stand out to me for today. By the way, I'm catching a cold and I'm doing everything I can to make sure that it doesn't go full blown on me, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it, if that makes sense. But anyway, so I was saying, I honestly, the people that stand out the most to me on Married to Medicine is Quad and Dr. Heavenly, and I am now just beginning to watch it enough to have all the other ladies be all the other people in the show be main characters in my head. Obviously, part of the reason why I got to watch it was because Phaedra is in this one. Okay, so I was saying one of the reasons why I got to really get into this one is because Phaedra joined back the episode. Phaedra, she's from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She joined Married to Medicine, and she did one season before, and she's doing a new one now, and that's the one that I'm watching. I wasn't really watching all the Bravo shows, but then I had been watching all the commentary, and I'm hooked. Okay, and I told you guys at the time I got sick and I didn't have anything to watch, and then I realized I need to have regular TV programming that I watch personally, right? So what I really know is that Quad was married to Dr. G, and they had a very nasty breakup. They came out issues of domestic violence and stuff like that, and honestly, apparently they were violent with each other, but I guess Quad kind of, for me, when I watch Married to Medicine, one of the things I noticed that these people are very conscious about the image of black medical professionals. So even if something real bad is going on, they kind of let it slide a little bit, like things that would affect their careers and stuff like that. They protect each other, which is great. I wish the show protected them more versus them having to protect each other. That's a weird workplace to be in, but anyway. So I'm watching the show, right? Quad is back, okay, and whenever you're watching the show, Quad gives rich auntie vibes because she's single, not married, that is, single, rich. And there was even times when people were questioning how she's getting all her money, and stuff like that, trying to call her a hoe. I think she's smart with money. The ladies who work on these shows, guys, they make a lot of money from these shows, and if you are a housewife or you're being taken care of by a man and you invest right, your money's gonna be straight. And one thing about the way that women handle money sometimes compared to men is, I feel like when men are pursuing money, it's all about money, power, self-esteem, right? And I feel like when women are pursuing money, it's all about security. So sometimes the way that women move with money can be a little bit different from the way that men move with money. So I definitely think she was investing her money, and I think people thought she was gonna be broke. She was gonna be broke once she left Dr. G, but it didn't happen. Dr. G. So last season, the whole storyline that they wanted to be a hot storyline was Quad's ex and his new wife. Her name is Sweetie. Letitia is her name, Sweetie, joining the show, and they wanted there to be this tension of ex-wife versus new wife and that kind of thing. And there was a little bit of that. I think Quad felt like, with the network, she felt like, how y'all gonna bring my husband's new chick to the show? But at the same time, it's like, come on girl, you're not married to medicine anymore. You're not a doctor yourself, and you're not married to someone who's in medicine. So their marriage just doesn't give that. Do you get it? Like, some people are just kind of like a little bit independent in their marriage, and I feel like that's how they really are. And I feel like she doesn't. That's how they are in real life. But I feel like when it comes to the show, she wants him to put on a front, like he would do anything for her and kind of stop heaven and hell for her. I think he's an easygoing, agreeable person. I don't know, I feel like she acts like he's not romantic enough for her, and maybe that's the issue. Because sometimes you're married to a nice guy, and nice, it's not that nice. You want a man who treats you well, not a man who's generic nice, because then you never feel special. You never know when you are being taken care of. Some women never know when they are being taken care of and when someone's just doing what they naturally do. I feel like that's just who he is, and she's known that, and somehow it's bothering her now because it's coming up on a reality TV show. That's how I feel about it when I watch it and see it and hear it. Okay. And then Dr. Heavenly and her man. Dr. Heavenly's a hot mess. I don't even know. Like, I have never seen someone who is as able to finesse and charm, and she's amazing because she is such a villain. Such a villain. And on the show, on social media, everything, she's such a villain. She's so unlikable. At the same time, she is so likable. She just, when she explains this, she's so manipulative, and it's brilliant. She is a good villain because she takes accountability. She apologizes. She's clearly doing certain things just for the show, and everything's about the show. She's great, honestly, on the show. I get it. Like, I wouldn't like someone like that. The confrontation she has with Sweetie at the Whitnick, I just don't understand why she went that far. And then the issue about her and her husband, I feel like Dr. Heavenly knows her man has cheated on her before, but she chose to forgive and forget and never address it with him. Because when she was talking about like how much she loves her kids and everything, I feel like Dr. Heavenly is putting her family above her feelings. And then she's a money maker, the way she works hard to make money. You know what, let me say this. If after Dr. Heavenly's kids, like if she felt like she was done raising the kids and the family, she could go her own separate ways, she would. I think the problem is Dr. Heavenly really loves her man. She loves him, regardless of the fact that I think there's some things that he ain't done right. She loves him. And then putting Dr. G on the spot, her husband putting Dr. G on the spot to vouch for him, he's not gonna vouch for you because he's been there, done that. He's not gonna vouch for you. It's not about word on the street or anything, but the same way y'all didn't know when stuff was going on in his life and stuff like that. He doesn't want to vouch for you. He's not gonna vouch for you. And then I like Sweet Tea. I like Dr. Contessa a little bit. I don't have any full character of her. And I like the other lady. The lady who's married to the man. That couple. I've forgotten their names. The light-skinned lady who's a little bit mean. Also a villain, but pretty and likable. Very likable. I like her because I like the way she flip-flops. I love the flip-flopping attitude. I like Quad's new man, King. I like the whole IVF family stories. I like when the stories are real. When we're talking about family and kids. All the reality of life. So like seeing Cash Doll on the show, right, as a patient. One thing I want to say about Married to Medicine, what makes it a good show is, when you're watching a regular drama, like a series, the ones that have like each episode they do something, and then there is a long story being processed in the background. I'll give an example of Scandal, right? And I'll tell you when Scandal lost me, even though Scandal never really lost me, or Grace. When shows have a pace, like in the beginning, the show, not even a show, the shows that have a basic, each episode has its own thing, right? So for example, in Grace, each episode has to have a very complex the longer plots of the whole series or the season or whatever are happening behind the scenes with the doctors. That's how I feel about Married to Medicine, to say each episode has its thing, right? And then the longer plot lines, the relationships, the friendships, the marriages are happening behind the scenes. Like, first episode was with Nick, second episode was Quad's birthday. Like, that's a well produced show. Each show has to have its own thing. Each episode has to have its own story. And then, so I love Married to Medicine for that, and I cannot wait to see what they do. It actually is becoming better than Housewives, but I can't wait to see how this season goes. I like Quad, I like a new man, I like her having conversations about starting a family. I like Sweet Tea, and her having conversations about starting a new family. I mean, her family. I also like I used to like the whole thing, and I know she's still doing it, Heavenly, when she does a little bit of spill the tea behind the scenes. I think that when the cast members decide to give a little bit of commentary about the show behind the scenes, it's like it's not really breaking the fourth wall, but I think that it's good because they're also taking agency over their participation in the show and making a little bit of extra money on the side with the show. And then also I like when they do that, because you get to fill in the gap between reunion and when the next episode starts, right? Like, I love that, like, filling in the gap and keeping us in the loop type thing that's going on with that. I can't wait to see it, because I feel like, according to Dr. Heavenly, this season her back's gonna be against the wall, and I can't wait to see it, because I feel like she deserves a little bit of heat. And I think it's only right that the ladies turn on Heavenly, because they wanted Quad off the show and Heavenly saved her, and Heavenly's gonna have to take the heat for that save. She's not gonna come out unscathed and clean. And then all the issues about, I think her name is Dr. Toya. Oh, I've forgotten. I've been forgetting. There was a lot of backlash that she got on social media, because people felt like, even though she was an OBGYN, she did not really love and care for black women the way that she should, and she pushed some negative stereotypes about them. But that woman's outside of the show brand is strong. You hear me? Strong. Her being on a show, her being on a Zoom or call with Kamala Harris at the time, VP Kamala Harris at the time, like, wow, that was like that shows that you've got social pull outside. And that's one thing about these shows, is there are people who have social pull outside of the show. Like, for example, on Beverly Hills, it's Kathy Hilton. It really is. Even though Sutton is very powerful, it's Kathy Hilton. Even though she's not even a full-time member of the show, it's her. On Real Housewives of New Jersey, it's Melissa. On Orange County, it's Heather. Heather is the one with the pool outside of the show. There are people who, and the other franchises as well, they have their own thing. On New York, it's the other lady, I've forgotten her name. But like, each show has someone who is like the way it used to be Vanderpump, right? There is someone who's on the show who's actually influential outside of the show, who is pulling strings. Or on Atlanta, it was Candy, and I think now it's Portia. There are some people who just have an influence outside of the show that makes the people move differently when they're with them in real life. And it's interesting to see that dynamic, and I always want the tea around that stuff. That's the stuff I want to know, what's really going on. But yeah, that's it from me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll be dropping another video about the other Bravo reality TV shows as the week goes.